Hi, this is Bert from Saxon. You're watching Metal Gods TV. Yahoo.
Hello, and welcome to another edition with Mick The Beard. I'm here with Ralph Robinson from the multi-talented, absolutely awesome, the best rock
Liar.
and roll band in the world,
Liar.
Asomvel.
He's full of shit. He's bullshitting already. How you doing, mate? You all right?
All right, mate. I thought I'd give you a good introduction there.
You nailed it, mate. You're now in the presence of the motherfucking king.
Asomvel have been going a very, very long time, but people think you're new. Why do you
Weird
think
that, yeah. Well, it's because I look so young and beautiful. You know, I stay moisturized. I'm actually 73. No, it's it's a funny old story actually. That I suppose, you know, we exhibit all the traits of a young up and coming band. I mean, we just got called an industry plant on a TikTok we posted yesterday. So I think the vibe of like, oh, these guys have got their shit together and they're upwardly mobile gives it, oh, they're obviously a new band because I'm just hearing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so all that fucking 30 years of absolute nightmarish hell that I dread to even regale you with today is like, you know, it's sort of just condensed down to what they probably imagine is about 3 months, and we just picked up our guitars and cheeky little upstarts having a go at it. But yeah, it was actually my old man that started the band back in 1993. So that's like 3 years before I was born, you know. Wow. My old man and my uncle, who since passed away, which he passed away, I think in 2010 or something. I can't remember. Too traumatic, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And like picked up the fucking I picked up the bass pretty much around the time he died, I think, and was just sort of like learning in the background. And I had my own little band, which was like an Asomvel ripoff. I mean, people keep calling us a Motorhead ripoff, right?
Yeah,
but
you do, yeah.
It was an Asomvel ripoff, right? And if you listen to that EP, God knows where it is, probably under my bed somewhere. It was like before Spotify was even really a thing. It's just a load of fucking Asomvel riffs, you know, and it's quite weird that this band with my dad and my uncle was like my main inspiration growing up, you know. I remember I sort of got expelled from school for being a quote unquote troublemaker. In reality, everyone was just, you know, fucking shouting at me for having long hair, calling me a fucking Yeti. And I didn't take very kindly to it, you know. So it was a case of, well, he started it. And it's like, yeah, well, you finished it, so fuck off, you know. So not very nice. And so around that time, I was just like, fuck it, I'll show these cunts. Started working out in the gym and trying to sort of make something of me fucking sorry, miserable existence. And Asomvel was like soundtrack to that, all these inspirational songs. And like, you know, I was like, fuck it, this is fucking great. Like, and then that got me into like, I want to make this sort of thing, you know, brainwashed from a young age by my dad, who was a musician. And it's like, he taught me a few things. And it is quite funny, you know, the sort of style that I've grown up around was just fucking like denim jackets, you know, fucking bootcut jeans and cowboy boots. It was like, that was me in the fucking crib, just sort of peep out the crib. What's going on? Oh, there's a lot of weird men with bullet belts, you know, like. So the idea that we're like a new band is quite funny, really, when you think that this is the band that inspired me to even fucking do anything with my life, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm, you know, but I know it's good that it's got that new energy, you know. I feel like it's got a new energy, you know.
Definitely. I mean, you are a old school looking and sounding band, but with a new twist, like you say. But like you say, you do get compared a lot to Motorhead, which is I can understand, but you're not a Motorhead tribute band. Like I've had some reviewers just dismiss you. You're not. I mean, you could say that I don't know, some of the bands like Rose Tattoo, AC/DC tribute bands, they're not just influenced by them.
I think what happens, especially with regards to like Motorhead and stuff, when there's a subgenre that's not really been added to in any meaningful way beyond the original band. If you look at like Venom, for example, there must be like hundreds of like black metal bands, and it became a thing, black metal, you know, and it's its own thing. Where I think with Motorhead, not many bands, apart from the thrash bands that were inspired and sort of went over here and did that. You know, there's not a lot of bands that sort of kept that sound true enough to what it was, where it's not going too heavy. Because I think that's the thing is a lot of bands since Motorhead took that as the fucking green flag to go way heavier than that. you know. So as such, there's not really a lot of bands that sound like that, you know. So it's natural that we're going to get compared to that. And like image wise as well, you know, like I say, I was raised in a household of people that loved Motorhead. So like as far as my direct inspiration goes, it's like I'm really inspired by the people that loved Motorhead and Motorhead, you know, to get, and that I suppose why it's got the kind of new energy to it as well. But it's like Motorhead started like 50 years ago, you know, so, you know, nearly 50 years ago. There's been enough time for like somebody to fucking love Motorhead, be inspired by them, have a kid. Unfortunately, that kid was me, you know, and brainwash that kid and say, oh, fucking hell, mate, you want to grow your hair, you know, that's cool. That's not going to get you into loads of shit at school, you know, and like it's sort of turned out that way. It's quite a weird story, really. So I do get the Motorhead comparison, you know, we're not going to deny it. We fucking love Motorhead. Yeah. It's fucking great, you know. But I think knowing like the 30 years of bullshit that have led us to this point kind of gives you a bit more context, and you go, oh, okay, so it's not some direct like aping of Motorhead just like for the sake of it. I think probably if it was, and I think you can scratch beneath the surface once you've had that initial reaction. I don't blame people for having that reaction. Oh my God, here we go, you know, Motorhead tribute time. And then it's like, you know, give them a bit of time and you see people going, there's more to it here. And it's a funny old thing, really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I saw you guys, it was sort of like, people said, oh, they sound like Motorhead. I thought, oh, okay, I'll give them a go. And I was sort of 2 songs in, I was like, whoa, whoa, yeah. It is, but it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like I feel like we've moved in a slightly different direction with When the World Goes to Hell, and Outside the Law, where it sounds more. There's a more like, dare I say, anthemic quality to the choruses that feel a bit bigger than something that maybe Motorhead would do. It feels a bit more AC/DC or a bit more Wasp to me, like, and that's just naturally from, I mean, all the riffs that we do and all the songs that we write, we just write them in here, like in big fucking wall of Marshalls, and you can play any old shit riff and it sounds good, which is that we need this shit, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because like the riffs we write, you know, that fucking like Outside the Law, 2 days before we went into the studio, Lenny was saying, we can't fucking go in and record this. It sounds like fucking shit. But sure enough, when you crank all them up and start playing it, you go, nah, sounds fucking good, that. You know, make anything sound good, mate.
I mean, I must admit, when I first played it, it was like, it was just in my head all day then. It was good. Stick in my head. Really, really good. Catchy. Really good. You've had a few problems with drummers, I've noticed, but thankfully, I think you've got a good one in Dave. I mean, I
told you not to mention that, mate. Fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, this problem with drummers sort of it transcends my time with the band. This has been going on since the start. I mean, it's a shame Lenny's not here really to tell you the true horrors of it. But as I understand it, it's a list fucking longer than my arm of drummers that have, for one reason or another, just not worked out. Makes you actually consider what the common denominator is there, mate, and start panicking. You know, like as far as my time in the band goes, like we've had a couple of drummers. You know, we had like that World Shaker music video has got a different drummer to World Shaker the album. It was actually, we recorded it all for the album with the new lineup. So yeah, Josh on that, and then we had Yanni for a while from Finland, and that we were going great guns for must have been about 4 years, you know. And it's only when he sort of got married and moved to Finland that, you know, logistically that ain't gonna work. So we just landed on a new drummer now, and put that new track out. So, you know, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll work. I mean, I know Dave, and he's just been with the UK subs for a while, hasn't
he? Yeah, he's been all over the shop with them cunts, hasn't he?
Yeah. So he knows his stuff.
Yeah, he does. And it's funny because he was saying when he's been playing with the subs, there's been times where the manager or whoever has said, "Oh, try and keep the fills to a minimum," you know. don't want it to interrupt the vocal and this and that. So he's been playing like really basic, you know, sort of stuff. And then we're asking him to do, well, what we're asking him to do, and we don't even know what we're asking him to do. We don't know what all this is. We just know that it sounds good. And it's weird as someone who's, I'm not very musical, but I think because this sort of music is something I've been listening to for a very fucking long time, and I have an understanding of it, at least, you know, it'll be like that section in Outside the Law after the guitar solo, and it strips down and you got the drums and the guitar, and it's like, you know, your classic fucking paint by numbers rock shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. When we were composing that, I sort of said, we need something on these drums. It needs to feel like, I said, no, not like that. And he was doing a bit of like almost like a jazz shuffle on the hi-hat. And I'm like, no, not that. It wants to go. And then can you like double it up, do what you're doing, but just do it twice as fast. And then, you know, I can eventually sort of explain what's in my fucking insane, stupid brain. And it's quite good with Magic, because I feel like I can sort of verbalize it, and he can get the result, which is good, you know. He knows his shit.
And do you think the rise in your popularity at the moment is due to the internet? Because you seem you get a lot of people,
mate. That's what everyone keeps telling me. It's all about how great I am. So yeah, honestly, mate, you know, we sort of been looking at TikTok for a while, sort of like that. Nah, well, you know, like it's people dancing in their kitchens or something. You know, it's not, as you do with all these things before you decide that it's either do that or fall by the wayside. And you know, we've been posting stuff online since that World Shaker video came out. We've been using like Facebook primarily. It was like Facebook was still. I feel like Facebook is becoming a bit more MySpace-esque.
Yeah,
with the way the kids are going on the fucking. I'm talking like an old man. The kids on that bloody TikTok app. But I feel like it's all migrating over to like 30-second videos, you know, just on your phone, scroll down, next one. And so you've only really got fucking 2 seconds to capture someone's attention before they say, fuck off, you know. So we sort of started looking at that and saying, right, well, let's start with, sort of lined up with getting this studio sorted out, which is taking fucking years.
Yeah.
And like a shit ton of fucking saving up and foregoing like many of the finer things in life to get the money to fucking do it. And it's like, hang on, we've got this space now. This is a fucking privilege that we feel so fucking lucky to have. We can film stuff in here that people might be interested in. You know, whatever we're doing, just get your fucking camera out and film it. You know,
yeah,
we're doing this long enough that it's like, oh, people might want to see us doing this. And it seems to be working. I would say, yeah, I think if not for the internet, what would we be doing? You know, putting out flyers for a local gig and trying to hand out our fucking CD. Like, I know, like I say, when the band started in '93, there's a shit ton of like, I guess, bootleg, shitty, official, unofficial releases that the band did, little EPs, 3 songs on, 5 songs on. It was a full fucking thing I've got under my bed somewhere called The Beast Unleashed and On Its Way, and it's got like 12 tracks on it, and it's like, oh, this is a full-fledged thing, but it doesn't exist because the internet didn't exist.
Yeah.
And it had no label, so it was just probably them 2 knobheads walking around at venues saying, please listen to my band, you know. So we'd still be doing that if the internet hadn't happened, and we'd be fucking nowhere. So fucking hell, thank God. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you find it's a bit of a double-edged sword though? Because you get the good stuff, but you also get the bad stuff. I mean, like you did the video the other day where you're loading all the cabs in, and somebody underneath put, you don't need that many cabs for this, and I've just put underneath, oh, you need more, really, don't you? You know, just joking, because you can see you were joking and all this. And he was so serious, saying you don't need this, you don't need that, and then you get all the dickheads jumping on saying bad stuff. But it's, you know, I don't know, it's double-edged sword, isn't it?
It really is, and I think we've had it before. We've been posting stuff out there years ago saying, fucking hell, come on, someone got to see this or what, right? Now we're at a point where a couple of people are seeing it and we're going, come on, we need people to start hating on this or it ain't going to go. And then as soon as you get those people hating on it, that's when you know, right, this is going to kick off now. And then you look at your Spotify listeners and you've gone from like, you know, 17,000 monthly listeners to fucking 20,000 monthly listeners in the space of about fucking, half a day. And you think, fucking hell, they're clicking on that, seeing all these comments, going, oh, I better check it out then. It's good enough for me, I think you've got to kind of accept that people are going to talk shit. And I think there's a couple of disturbing points about it. The main one being that it's often other musicians that are doing it, I mean, especially if you're talking about that TikTok that we posted with all the gear on it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of other musicians that feel in some way like, because we're deciding to creatively express ourselves in such a way with all these amps, and we've arrived at a point where we can do it. If it's like, hang on, if that becomes the thing, if that becomes this accepted, great, amazing thing to strive for, I'm fucked. And it's not like that, because everybody creates art in their own way. You can fart into a fucking megaphone if you want.
Yeah.
There's no rules, So I don't think like our way of doing it invalidates anyone else's. And I think a lot of it kind of stems from like, oh, you don't need all that because I haven't got all that. So I need to believe that you don't need it. It's like, well, no, you don't need it, but we want it,
Yeah.
We fucking need it, and you need whatever you need because you're doing something different anyway, because the job's not even the same job. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's weird that you get those sorts of comments, but I think when you understand predominantly where they're coming from, it really just becomes water off a duck's back. And of course, it helps your engagement to comment back to these people and in a reasonable but sort of firm way that states that this is what we do, and and that's that. But I think as far as letting it bother you, I think once you know where it's coming from, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're in the middle of doing new stuff at the moment. Is that going to eventually become an album, or is it just at the moment you're just playing around with tracks?
Well, we have a plan, which is usually a good thing when we've got a plan, because it seems to happen and we never believe it's going to happen until like the last minute, and we go, fucking hell, we pulled it off, and it's like, the idea is to record a load of tracks, which is going to cost a shit ton of money. I mean, fucking hell, like, we've all got real jobs, and we're at that weird point where we've got enough fans sort of going, where's this album, lads? Come on. Or like, where's the tour, lads? Come on. And it's like, we're doing 1,000 things at once here. Even just trying to get in this fucking studio and like play for a bit is a nightmare, because you got fucking, Magic down in Cheltenham, and us trying to, post every single day on socials, reply to every single comment we get because we don't want to be arseholes. Yeah. And the plan anyway around all that is to be recording tracks and kind of drip feed them out. And then, maybe save the last half of it to just get out in one full whack on an album altogether. So you'll probably see like Outside the Law, and whatever comes after that, we'll just bash it all together and say, there you go. I feel like that's a good way of doing it, because people can start to get a taste for it. And then when an album comes out, there's, 5 or 6 they've not ever heard before. So we'll see how we go.
And then, of course, you'll be hopefully trying to tour on the back of that, will you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a bit of a weird situation with the booking agent we had. It was Dragon Productions based in Germany. And, they've been sort of getting us decent gigs pre-COVID. I mean, we were going all over with fucking like decent bands playing sold out venues, and it was good because we were supporting bigger bands. So it was like fucking brilliant, and people didn't expect much of us. So then when you turn up, we had all these Marshalls and that. I mean, we had the fucking like headliner like Riot and Exciter just playing through our fucking Marshalls, and it was great going out there and like playing all these shows across Europe. And then COVID happened, and it's been a lot harder coming out of COVID, because then of course there's been, during that time, all the adjustments were with Brexit and everything sort of came through, where you need like a carnet for your gear and stuff like that. So I mean, we're flying out to Denmark on Friday to play a show, and we've just had to spend 900 quid on a carnet, which is basically an itemized list of all your gear, So so that you can check it in out and then check it back in, so you've not fucking sold it or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
it's just like red tape, and I'm pretty sure that's valid for the whole year. So it's not like we have to pay that every time we go out, or we'd be fucked, you know. But
yeah.
so you go, oh, fucking hell, we got that coming up. We've got that recording coming up. We just shot a music video 2 days ago. So you think, fucking hell, this is getting a bit expensive now. How are we going to do it? Jesus Christ. And that now, of course, like taking merch to this show that we're playing in Denmark on Saturday, you need some fucking, I don't know the logistics of it, but you need some sort of paperwork for the merchandise as well. And so we go, well, we can't really justify taking it. It's like, oh, well, can we get it printed over there? Well, have you got any money? No. Have you got any? Well, no. Well, fuck it then. You know what I mean? Like, you need to get money, and it's just, you kind of got to prioritize shit. So we'll no doubt get there, and you'll have fans saying, oh, where's the merch? And it's like, we can't do it. You know, we're at that weird level where we should be able to fucking do that.
Yeah.
But there's 1,000,001 fucking roadblocks in the way. So, you know, once this record's out, and we've no doubt spent the whole year fucking building up a fan base, and I mean, we're growing all the time now. Like, now we're posting every single day without fail, which is easier said than done, but we always find some stupid bullshit to put in front of the phone, you know, and beam it out there. Now that we're doing that, I feel like you're looking at the numbers going up, and not only that, you know, I feel like it's not just about numbers, but you're seeing the sort of same fans coming on with a little bit more support each time, but maybe sort of digging a bit deeper and go, and you're feeling like you're strengthening those connections, which I think is really important, just from a fucking human point of view. You know, you want to meet people and fucking like connect with them, you know, and share the love of this thing called fucking rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of the year, having fucking worked on that and built up a decent fan base, I reckon we can get a decent tour together, and hopefully be able to do it how we want to do it, you know. Because you can do it half-assed, or you can do it how we want to do it, and it's a fucking tricky balance, you know.
Yeah, I presume you'll be starting in the UK anyway, wouldn't you, for touring? Because, like you say, it's easier logistically wise.
Yeah, totally. Well, this is why we split from our booking agent, who's based in Germany, because a lot of the shows he was getting, I mean, we've been like over there for past fucking God knows how long, and we've had like UK fans almost like. And I feel bad because there'll be the same fucking guys commenting, come on, guys, you're going to play the UK. And we're in a contract with this booking agent. And we're saying, can we get some UK shows? Like, it's screenshotting the comments, like people wanting it, you know. And it's not happening. And we're thinking, fucking hell, like, we're giving 15% to this cunt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Daniel, you're a great guy, but we can't keep going like this. we need to get out in front of our fans, you know. Even if it was not about fucking making money or getting new fans, we'd simply need to be there for the fans that have fucking been there for us, you know, and like buying our merch and streaming our songs all through fucking COVID. We want to get out there and fucking have like a fucking celebration, you know.
Yeah.
And there's things in the way of doing that, and it's like, this ain't fucking right, you know. So I would imagine that on the back of constant releasing and getting an album out there, which is kind of what we're focusing on now. It's like, let's get the songs there, let's get it so people know the fucking words to these songs, and really fucking connect with these songs, and then we'll fucking go out and play them when we've got fucking rooms full of people that love it. So we've got a plan, and yeah, I do think we can do it. It's just the logistics of you know, having a real life, which that's out the window. Real fucking life that's gone, mate. You know, you got to leave that at the door. But you know, it's money to record in it. It's not free, and we're unsigned. You know, we do it all ourselves. And this is the thing, I think, because people see that we've got this room, like we're fucking rich. It's like, no, we're poor because we've got this room. Do you know what I mean? Oh, mate. But yeah, we always find a way. It's all we want to do. You know, we're not gonna fucking. You're not going to see a Facebook post from us in 2 years' time saying, "Oh, sorry guys, it got too hard. We decided to call it quits." You know, it does get too hard for people, and that's a very real thing, because it's like, you know, I see bands that just started playing like arenas and shit like that, and then you see the post and they call it quits, and you think, fucking hell, you had it all in the palm of your hand there. You were just about to like get to that next level. But I think getting to that next level proves to be so fucking difficult for a lot of bands, because it's like, I feel like for working class people, getting anywhere in music requires, like, you're going to get to that point where you're not quite getting paid enough to fuck your job off, but the schedule is such that you can't have an actual job.
Yeah.
So it becomes tricky, you know, and but we will do whatever it takes, and that's that. We'll fucking die trying, mate, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always talking with my mates about where's the next big band coming from. You know, like at the moment you download this sort of like 4 or 5 bands that rotate every year, the headliners. And for other festivals, it's more or less they rotate the lineups between each other, and they're not giving other bands a chance though. That's the problem, and I don't know where the next big band's going to come from.
Well, it's something that we've sort of noticed is, like, you know, these same bands getting booked, and you get the odd time we'll see some of our fans will be like tagging, I don't know, fucking Bloodstock at Bloodstock Festival, get these guys on.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wonder if 200 of our fans did that, would it happen? I don't know. And from there, what we'd probably be playing on some fucking shitty pallet round the back on a fucking Thursday. You know what I mean? But, you know, breaking through to that next level, it feels like the gap from here to there for any band is fucking insane, which is, you know, I think I really don't have an answer for you when it comes to where the next fucking band's going to come from, because from living it, it's fucking difficult. And I think unless you are a fucking industry plant, or your dad's got loads of money and he's fucking, you know, well connected. You know, if your dad's got a fucking blue link on Wikipedia and you can click through and it fucking comes up and he's already in the industry, like, you know. But I think that's a shame, really, because if those are the bands that are going to be able to make it, because logistically that's where it's at, then it's not based on what it should be based on. Do you know what I mean? Which is just merit of how good a band is, regardless of, oh, fucking hell, well, they all work at fucking Sainsbury's and they can't do it anymore, so see you later. You know, it's shit.
Yeah,
it's tricky, but it's certainly not getting any easier. But we'll stick it out. You know.
Oh yeah. I mean, they seem to actually jump through hoops. You have to do, you know, you got to enter this competition. You got to do that. You got to do this. You got to, rather than say, oh yeah, that band's good. Let's invite them to the play festival. It's all, I don't know. It's all changed now. It used to be, you're good. We'll play. We'll book you. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a mate of mine that just said to me, like, "Are you coming next Saturday to Metal to the Masses?" You know, it's like fucking Heat 16, round 12, you know, fucking Midlands edition, and it's like, you just feel like saying, "Good luck, mate." He said, "Oh, we can play Bloodstock," and we were sort of chatting about it, and it's like, I don't know. What's it based on? What are these things based on? Is it how many people turn up and clap for you? So it's should it be a popularity contest? It's, to some extent, it should be, I suppose. But it should all. I mean, it should all based on. I mean, there's a shite that's popular. It doesn't mean it should be on at Bloodstock. But you know, I guess that's going to come into it, and it's going to be the deciding factor is how popular a band is. Which is, you know, it's just the internet these days, I think, is our way of doing that. Trying to create a bit of a buzz online, you know.
Nice. Right. We're running out of time on this one. So I'd like to thank you for joining me on this. And anybody who wants to see what the band's like, check out Asomvel. They're on everywhere at the moment. So you can find them, I'm sure.
Oh, don't listen to him. He's a fucking idiot.
Thanks a lot for that.
All right. Cheers, mate.